Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Bilkistina Alia. Welcome to the blueprint of a competent laboratory, where I'll be introducing ISO 17025. So, what exactly is ISO 17025? In simple terms, it is the gold standard for laboratories. While many companies use ISO 9001 to show that they are well managed, ISO 17025 goes a step further by proving that science is actually correct. It ensures that a laboratory has three main things: competent staff, well-maintained equipment, and proven testing methods. When a lab is accredited, it means they are not just guessing their results. They are actually using validated processes to produce data that is accurate and reliable. Ultimately, this standard allows laboratories to speak a universal language of quality, making their test results acceptable and trusted all over the world. To understand ISO 17025, we must look at the two types of facilities it covers. First, we have testing laboratories. These labs determine the characteristic of a sample, such as analyzing soil for chemicals. And second, we have the calibration laboratories. Instead of testing products, these labs check the accuracy of measuring tools. In a chemistry setting, testing labs find what is in the substance, while calibration labs ensure that the scales and pipette are correct. Both are essential to ensure that every measurement we take is linked to a global standard. So why is ISO 17025 actually important? First, it builds global trust. Because it is an international standard, test results are accepted across international borders without needing to be redone. Second, it guarantees data accuracy. It reduces errors by forcing the lab to follow strict and proven procedures. From a business perspective, it improves operational efficiency by identifying risks before they become problems. It also offers legal protection. If a lab's results are ever questioned, accreditation provides scientific evidence that stands up in court. Ultimately, it leads to significant cost savings because it prevents expensive retesting and product failure, making the lab more competitive and reliable. And what about the structure? It is organized into 5 main sections. First, we have general requirement, which focus on impartiality and confidentiality that ensure that the lab is not biased. Second are structural requirements, which defines the lab organization and management hierarchy. Third, we look at the resource requirements, which covers personnel, facilities, and equipment. Fourth is the most critical part, process requirements. This covers the technical steps from sampling to reporting. Ensure that every chemical analysis is done correctly. And finally, management system requirements that involve the policy for documentation and improvement. Why is ISO 17025 accreditation a good idea for your organization? First, it provides an enhanced reputation, as it shows customers that the lab meets global standards. Second, it creates a better operational control because the system identifies risks and reduces laboratory errors before they happen. From a global perspective, it provides international recognition, allowing for the principle of tested once, accepted everywhere. This gives the organization a huge market advantage as it opens doors to government and high-value contracts that require accredited data. Finally, it guarantees data integrity, which ensures results are accurate and legally defensible if they are ever challenged. So, what are the steps to become accredited? It starts with a gap analysis, which means comparing the current practice against the ISO requirements to see what needs to change. Next is documentation, where we focus on writing the quality manual and SOPs to standardize our work. Once the rules are set, we move to the implementation, which simply means working according to the new standards in our daily tasks. Before the final step, we perform an internal audit, checking for compliance before the official visit to catch any mistakes. Internal audit is like a mock exam. Definitely the best way to ensure that lab does not fail the real assessment. And finally, we undergo a formal assessment, which is an external audit by a national accreditation body to officially certify our laboratory. What about the application process? It begins with the submission of a formal application and documentation to the national accreditation body. Next is the document review, where the assessor checks the quality manual and SOP to ensure they meet the standard. The most important stage is the on-site assessment, where the technical expert visit the lab to observe testing and interview the staff. If they find any issue, the lab enters the non-conformance fix stage, correcting any error found during the audit. Once everything is perfect, the process ends with the grant of accreditation, which is the official approval and issuance of the certificate. In Malaysia, the accreditation body is usually the Department of Standards Malaysia. In conclusion, ISO 17025 is the foundation of trust in laboratories. It is more than just a certificate. It is a commitment to accuracy, safety, and quality. By following this standard, laboratories do not just conduct science, they prove it through reliable and validated processes. Thank you.